Titans fans out in full force for the first game of the season. Tarah Perry was at the game and says the stadium was packed.
It was awesome. The crowd was really energetic and everybody was having a great time.
A look at the stands and you'll notice some who chose to wear a mask and others who chose to go without. Perry says overall she felt safe at the game.
I was excited to see that it was, and everybody's out and just getting back to things. So yeah, it was exciting to see it full.
Other fans like Patty Ingram were also happy to be back at Nissan Stadium. Ingram says she wore her mask while walking in crowds, but expects others to do the same.
I felt safe because I had mine on, but lots of people didn't, and obviously, in my opinion, they should.
Nissan Stadium is not requiring vaccine proof or masks, but is strongly encouraging those who aren't vaccinated to wear one. Fox 17 reached out to see how the team felt about today and if fans can expect to see any changes to protocols this season. In a statement, the Titans said they seek the advice of health experts and will be prepared to adjust protocols throughout the season. For game goers like Nancy McMahon, the choice to wear a mask at the game is just that, a choice.
We know everybody there, and most of them have been vaccinated, and so, but now when I got on the elevator to go up, I put my mask on.
Across the river, you may be able to see party buses traveling up and down Lower Broadway. Now Nashvillians are calling on these vehicles to be regulated, but it's not so easy to do so. Anyone who's been to Lower Broadway has probably seen party buses, tractors, hot tubs, and more filled with visitors. But one council member wants to regulate these transportainment vehicles.
The number of these vehicles has continued to increase. The problems with them ranging from noise to, on the nuisance grade up to safety, where we've had a couple people fall out and create really dangerous scenarios and some serious injuries.
The bill includes limiting open containers and requiring local permits for vehicles and drivers.
The big thing is that not all transportainment is equal. We're not all created equal.
Josh Cloud owns Big Drag Bus, a party bus company in Nashville. He wants to be a part of the solution and feels there needs to be a time regulation, but doesn't agree with everything in the bill.
I don't agree that there should not be alcohol on any buses. I just think that that's crazy.
Many for Regulation cite a July incident where a rider fell off a party bus.
What do you say to those who feel that there's been a false narrative about these vehicles, who these owners feel that there have been zero injuries besides the one rider who they say did it to himself back in July? What is your response to that?
The issue of safety is a piece of the conversation. It's not the only part of the conversation. The other parts of the conversation are, you've been allowed to be out there effectively self-regulating for such a long time now with a very loose regulatory framework.
O'Connell feels they can move forward with the bill at a local level, but they do need to make sure it complies with state law. The nurse tells me the past year and a half have been really tough on all frontline workers. The staffing shortage comes at a time when COVID-19 cases are surging here in Nashville, and it's causing some major worries.
Nurses in general are starting to get burnout.
Julie Ham's been on the front lines at a Nashville hospital.
Unfortunately, we are starting to see some nurses leave the profession, and this is very unfortunate.
The American Nurses Association now calling on the Health and Human Services Director to declare a state of emergency as it relates to nurse shortages. This comes as COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations continue to surge in the state.
But we really are seeing a shortage, both inpatient and outpatient, at a time when our healthcare resources are stretched as far as they possibly can.
Ham says the pandemic's caused the field of nursing to become less desirable with long hours and burnout.
We're seeing a high number of COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, high number of pediatric cases. Can you take people into what you're experiencing right now?
It just becomes very taxing. You start your career off in nursing to help people. And you keep trying to help people, but at this point, the system is so overwhelmed with COVID cases that we can't really even provide all the care we were trained to do.
I reached out to the state health department to ask how leaders are supporting nurses during this time. A spokesperson tells me it is authorized to utilize the remaining funds from the hospital staffing assistance program to address staffing needs. Ham's experienced stories she won't ever forget, like families having to leave their COVID-positive loved ones and possibly not seeing them until it's time to say goodbye.
Most of the people that are in the ICUs and before they get intubated and put on ventilators is them begging people to get the vaccine and the fact that they wish they had gotten the vaccine.
In the past 2 days, Nashville Mayor John Cooper says 10 people have died from the virus. 8 of them were unvaccinated.